Imagine you're a farmer 10,000 years ago. You've got a ton of wheat. Your neighbor has a goat. You want the goat, but he doesn't want wheat, he wants shoes. And you don't make shoes. So now what? That, my friend, is the exact problem that invented money. Before money existed, humans traded things directly for other things. Economists call this barter. It seems simple, right? You trade your extra chickens for someone else's extra corn. But barter has a huge flaw. It's called the double coincidence of wants. Basically, for a trade to work, I need exactly what you have, and you need exactly what I have at the exact same time. So if I have fish and want firewood, I don't just need someone with firewood. I need someone with firewood who also wants fish. Right now, today. That is a lot of coincidence to pull off.
So ancient societies were creative. Instead of trading haphazardly, they began using certain goods that everyone desired as a sort of intermediary. Think about it. Instead of trading fish directly for firewood, you trade your fish for salt, because everyone wants salt. Then you use that salt to get the firewood you actually need. This is called commodity money, using a widely desired good as a stand-in for value. And different cultures chose very different things. In West Africa, cowrie shells served as currency for centuries. In parts of Asia and Africa, livestock was literally wealth. The word capital comes from the Latin capita, meaning heads of cattle. Salt was so valuable in the Roman world that soldiers were partly paid in it, which is where the word salary comes from.
But even commodity money had problems. Cattle don't fit in your pocket. Salt dissolves in the rain. Shells are heavy if you're buying something expensive. People needed something that was easy to carry, didn't spoil, was hard to fake, and everyone agreed had value. And that combination is basically the recipe for metal coins. So somewhere around 600 BC, in a kingdom called Lydia, in what's now Turkey, someone had an idea that would completely change human history. They started stamping little pieces of metal with an official symbol, guaranteeing its value. That's the first coin ever made. And it's exactly where we're picking up next episode.
So the next time someone says money isn't real, remember, they have a point. It's a system humans invented to solve a really annoying logistical problem, and it has been evolving for 10,000 years. If you want to see how an ordinary shiny rock ended up becoming the US dollar, subscribe. I'm going to tell that whole story, one episode at a time. This tiny piece of metal is one of the most important inventions in human history. More important than the wheel, some people would argue. And it all started with one king who got tired of arguing about goats. Quick recap. Last episode, we talked about how humans used salt, shells, and cattle as early money before coins existed. Useful, but clunky. Cattle don't fit in your pocket. So around 600 BC, something changed everything. Before coins, every transaction needed some kind of verification. Is this cattle healthy? Is this salt pure? Is this shell real? Coins removed all of that. Standardized weight, standardized purity, backed by an authority everyone recognized. And it spread fast. Within about a century, the idea jumped to Greece, then Persia, then basically everywhere around the Mediterranean. Greek city-states started putting their own symbols on coins too. Owls for Athens, for example. Which, fun fact, is also where we get a slang term still used today for money in some cultures. Owls was literally old slang for coins in ancient Athens. But here's the part that really changes things. Coins didn't just make trade easier. They made trade with total strangers possible. Before this, you mostly traded within your community, people who knew your reputation. With coins, a merchant in Athens could trade with someone from a completely different city, someone he never met and would probably never see again, and still trust the transaction. That's the moment money stopped being just a convenience and started
But coins had one weakness. They were heavy. Try carrying enough gold coins to buy a house? Not fun. So a few centuries later, on the other side of the world, someone came up with a much lighter solution. Paper. And that's a wild story on its own. So next time you flip a coin, remember, you're holding a 2,600-year-old solution to one of humanity's oldest problems. How do you trust a stranger? Subscribe if you want the full story. We're going all the way from coins to crypto, one episode at a time.
Let me ask you something. If I wired $10 million into your bank account today, would you still be rich 5 years from now? Or would you slowly lose it all? I have a friend who says the exact same thing every time we meet. One day, I want to be rich. But then he immediately says, I think everyone lives inside an invisible box. Yeah. That box is made from your beliefs. If you believe investing is only for rich people, if you believe you'll never invest, you never learn. If you never learn, you never start. If you never start, your money never works for you. That's not a money problem. That's a belief problem. Here's a question almost nobody asks. How much money do you actually need? Not to impress off online. If your social media is full of people showing off expensive cars, your brain starts chasing status. But if you spend 30 minutes every... I don't have time. Really? Or is building wealth simply not your priority yet? We somehow find hours for Netflix. Never compare your life to social media. Someone drives a Lamborghini, someone travels first class, someone buys the newest phone.
Building wealth isn't complicated. Learn to earn, learn to save, learn to invest, learn to spend wisely. Master those 4 skills and you're already ahead of most people. The best investment isn't Bitcoin, it isn't real estate, it isn't stocks. It's you. Moment. Start today. Crypto isn't rigged. It's not a scam by default. But most people who try it still end up losing money.
It's usually not because of the technology. Let's actually break down why. Why so many people lose money with crypto? Coin and Amp Nico.
Reason 1. Buying purely because of FOMO. Usually right when the price is already high.
The people who bought during the hype are the ones holding the losses when the price corrects.
Reason 2. Trading with leverage without really understanding it. It can multiply gains, but it multiplies losses just as fast. A normal price dip that a regular investor could just wait out completely wipes out a leveraged position. That's called liquidation. If something promises guaranteed or fixed high returns, that's not how any real investment works. Reason 3, and this one's just straightforward, scams. Fake projects, guaranteed returns, influencers quietly getting...
Reason 4, having no actual plan. Buying and selling based on emotion instead of a strategy.
Without a plan, every decision becomes emotional. Panic selling during a crash, panic buying during a pump.
Crypto itself isn't automatically a scam, and it's not automatically a jackpot either. It's just a volatile asset. Fix those 4 things, and you're already ahead of most people in this space.
This isn't financial advice, it's just how the math actually plays out for most people. Follow along.
Okay, real talk. Most people don't lose money investing because the market crashed. They lose money because of dumb mistakes they didn't even know they were making.
Okay, real talk. Most people don't lose money investing because the market crashed. They lose money because of dumb mistakes they didn't even know they were making.
I'm gonna go through 5 of them.
If you've done at least 2, don't worry. Literally everyone has.
Mistake number 1. Waiting until you have enough money to start investing. Spoiler, there is no enough.
People say this at $500 in savings, and they still say it at $50,000. It's not about the amount, it's about starting the habit.
Mistake 2. Buying whatever's trending because your feed told you to.
Someone posts a stock up 400%, and it feels like you're missing out. But by the time it's on your feed, you're usually late. Hype is not a plan.
Mistake 3. And this one's big. Investing before you have any emergency fund.
If your car breaks down or you lose your job and all your money's in the market, you might have to sell at the worst possible time just to cover rent. Emergency fund first, always.
Mistake 4.
Trying to time the market. waiting for the perfect moment to buy.
Professional fund managers with entire teams can't consistently time the market. So why do we think we can do it from our phone during lunch break?
Mistake 5. Putting all your money into one stock or one coin because you're sure it's going to blow up. Even if you're right sometimes, this is how people lose everything. One bad month, and your whole portfolio's gone.
Don't wait until you have enough money. Don't follow fads. Build your emergency fund first. Stop trying to predict the market, and don't bet everything on a single thing.